All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the session at Scifest. We are here at FameLab South Africa 2015, and apparently this event is being streamed live. So welcome to all the people in Grahamstown. It's being streamed to grahamstown.tv. I hope I got that right. So today is going to be a special day. Today where you not only get the opportunity to hear more about science, but you also get the opportunity to see some of the best communicators live on stage. This is what we could call the Idols. No, the X Factor. No, this is way better. This is the FameLab of Science. So welcome to Grahamstown, and thank you for being here with us. So these guys, of course, will be in competition. Apparently we've got 2 runners-up prizes of 2,500 Rand cash. The winner this afternoon will walk away with 5,000 Rand cash. And you will also get a plane ticket to attend the finals in the UK in June. So that is just to get you guys going and make you more excited. But let's welcome you formally, and I'm going to call on Colin McKibben, who's South African Country Director, British Council, to do the official word of welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow scientists. Your Excellency, High Commissioner, we're absolutely delighted as the British Council to be supporting this event this afternoon, alongside our partners in SASTA and China Media and the British High Commission in South Africa. And we're delighted this afternoon to have the High Commissioner with us. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have to say, simply because I know that you want to see the drama, and the thrill, and the bangs, and the crashes, and hopefully not the fails of this wonderful array of young scientists that we have in front of us this afternoon. And if they are as good as last year's winner, then we will be absolutely delighted to welcome them at Cheltenham this year. Last year's winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Raven. And Raven, take a round of applause and stand up. Wonderful representative of science in South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Raven. So thanks very much. Best of luck to all of you, and let's be having some science.
All right, thanks, Colin. Right, so you guys are welcome to the audience. Are you guys still alive? Can I just get the sound? You are alive? Are you here? Yeah. Beautiful. Right. So science communication is very important because we're trying to reach the next generation. And SASTA, who's the South African Agency for Science and Technology Advancement, they are partnering, as you heard. And today we've got Dr. Jabu Nukeri, who's the MD at SASTA, to tell us a little bit more about science communication in the South African context, and also about the role that SASTA is playing. Thank you, Jabu.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Delegates from the British Council, in particular, Mr. Colin McGivens, delegates from the British High Commission, finalists who are here today, and the patients, I can see them, the adrenaline is pumping and pumping and pumping. Judges who assist us, in determining who the winner is. Colleagues from organizations in the National System of Innovation, ladies and gentlemen. The South African Agency for Science and Technology Advancement, SASTA, is a business unit of a bigger organization that's the National Research Foundation. And the National Research Foundation is an agency of the Department of Science and Technology. And SASTA do have a critical role of taking science to the public. This is achieved, through our 3 prongs in our approach, that is through awareness, education, and communication. However, we are very conscious of the fact that this is a huge responsibility that we cannot achieve on our own. That's the reason why we identify and partner with key stakeholders in the science, technology, engineering landscape to enable us to put the world of science in the hands of society. And among others, these are the science community, the IAP institutions, the science councils, science festival organizers, government institutions, the private sector, and also the media, just to mention a few. The biggest challenge that we face in the country and globally is how to communicate science and engage society in issues that impact them in their daily lives in the way that makes sense, not just to the scientists, but to them and to the world of science in their hands. Ladies and gentlemen, gone are the days when science was only for the gifted few and the led few. The 21st century is characterized by what I call scientific and technological revolution. That is not only, and does not only impact one section of the community, but all of us. The big question is, how then do we communicate and engage society in science issues that impact them on their daily lives? In this regard, I tried to respond to this question. I wish to share some ways of wisdom with you from a book of publication entitled Urban Science and Built for Hip Hop Generation, written by Christopher Adam. I'll quote 3 paragraphs. The first one I call it episode 1, then 2 and 3. Episode 1, I quote, on Wednesday afternoon, I stood in the back of a chemistry classroom and white as a sea of half-asleep faces painted with confusion, frustration, and indifference as the teacher did, some figures, chemicals, and atoms trying to get students' attention to no avail. I close the quote for episode 1. Episode 2. A few minutes later, I became settled in the back of the class. Suddenly, the sound of a rap song drifted into the room from a passing car. Almost immediately, most of the students sat up and almost simultaneously began nodding their heads to the beat. Suddenly looked at each other and smiled. Others mouthed the words of the song under their breath. They gave each other glowing glances and acknowledged with slight head nods from their peers and eye contact that there was something that collectively attracted all of their attention. There was obvious emotional energy generated by the song that lifted the classroom that the teacher lesson did not provide. I close episode 2. Last episode, episode 3. And they are in sequence. As the car slowly drove past, the sound of the song dissipated into a bubble bass and faint drum pattern. The distinctive beat of the song faded to silence and was replaced by the repetitive ticking of a clock in front of the class. The students' smiles faded into a blank stare as the teacher kept talking and lesson proceeded. I close, the quote for the 3rd episode. Program director, I hope that this scenario submitted all of us who are science communicators and involved in science communicating in one way or another. The set stage must be approached head-on to ensure that our young people in the public should respond more positively to science and technology talks than in hip-hop or politics or other activities. Based on that information, it gives me great pleasure to be a part of an organization that is involved in an international competition such as FameLab, which is known as the indicated program director that is more than the pop idol in science, is something more than that. The program had been to the TST New Science Engagement Framework and what SASA stands for. SASA has been involved in this process since 2003 in partnership with the British and Giant Media. The panel of the competition was limited in 3 provinces of South Africa, with the initial semi-finals at Scifest Africa in Amsterdam last year. This year, 2014, SASA increased its role and became a key funding partner in delivering the competition, which was implemented in 7 provinces. And as an organization, we are the main funders of the program. A large number of South African organizations in the science, engineering, and technology sector were involved. Through such involvement in the FameLab competition, obviously we hope to achieve something. Some of the key things that we intend to achieve is, first, to improve science communication skills among scientists, engineers, technologists, and mathematicians. Secondly, to identify new voices in science to act as role models to new generation of scientists, and to inspire and excite public with the scientific discovery. Ladies and gentlemen, Program Director, FameLab presents an ideal opportunity for increased participation across the NSI sector in promoting and developing science communication skills. This competition also provides a platform to strengthen partnerships with a number of organizations that I did before. The future of FameLab will build on the competition success of 2013 and 2014 with the objective to increase support operation of science communication in the country. In addition, the hosting of the competition in our country creates the opportunity for international collaboration with South Africa and the United Kingdom. Through the mentorship of emerging scientists and by creating opportunities for young scientists to interact with global scientific community and network with other scientists from diverse disciplines and after the competition. Program Director, in conclusion, I would like to take this opportunity to wish the 10 finalists the very best for this final competition, where one national winner will be selected to participate in the international finals in the United Kingdom. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank our partners, in particular Jive Media, the British Council, for allowing us the opportunity to be a key partner in this implementation, and also for their commitment to this project. To all of you, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. There you have it. It's all about advancement, it's about communication, it's about developing skills. And as you said, it's all about the science and the science. And you don't know that song? Okay, before you do. So we had to search. We searched high and low. We had to cut DNA. We had to take the square roots of numbers to find these 10 contestants. So to tell you a little bit more about the search, I've got Robert around from Jive Media to tell you a little bit more about the search. Where we got them, how we brought them here. Some we had to teach mathematics. But Robert will tell you more.
Thanks, Gillian, and thanks very much to all of you for being part of this journey today. I'm going to step back a little bit. It's just a little way, about 150,000 years ago, when in Africa, a small band of a species that was starting to explore and discover who they were, started to look beyond their borders and went on a bit of a journey. And that species was Homo sapiens, and they were our ancestors. And at that point, there were no humans around the rest of the world. All the humans were sitting in Africa, all the humans that there were. And they essentially were embarking on a journey of discovery. And that journey of discovery led them around the entire world. And today, we sit with a population of 7.3 billion humans on the planet. And 1.1 billion of those humans are sitting in Africa. And that's about 15% of the world population. But those humans who left Africa 150,000 years ago, they took something with them which made them as successful as they were. And what they took with them was an ability to observe the world around them, to understand some of the features of that world around them, and then to apply new knowledge. And that's a process that we call science, and the application of that we call technology. So that process that enabled humans to become such a successful species and send them out around the world is the process that we celebrate now. But we have to be careful, because that process of applying, of observing, understanding, and applying made them so successful that we're actually at a position where we have started to challenge our own chances of survival on the planet. So with 7.3 billion people, the world is becoming far more stretched than we can imagine. And So we need young scientists who are going to be, again, observing, understanding, and applying new knowledge. And that's really why we're running FameLab. What we wanted to do in South Africa was to lift up for the country to see these young scientists so that we can inspire a new generation of scientists to get involved in that process. I'd just like to think a little bit, that 15% of the world population in Africa, in terms of the science that we actually publish internationally, what do you think is the percentage of science that gets produced by South Africa if we measure it by peer-reviewed articles? Anyone want to hazard a guess at the percentage of world science that Africa is producing? You know. 2.5%. Of the world's science, Africa is putting out 2.5%. And that 2.5% is in fact includes a 1.6% which comes from South Africa and Egypt, leaving 0.9% produced by the rest of Africa. And that's an alarming situation, especially with 15% of the world's population, up to 50% of the world's mineral reserves in precious metals and platinum group metals, which are becoming significant in this new electronic age. And if we as South Africans and Africans don't do the science, then other countries are going to do the science and we draw from that science. So that's a little bit of a journey. Bringing it back here, we took a journey around South Africa and we held 7 heats around the country. So there are actually 16 participants in front of you. Those 16 were the top scientists and science communicators that came out of those 7 heats. We went to the University of Limpopo, we went to Grahamstown, we came here and we picked up scientists from Fort Hare. We went to UKZN in KwaZulu-Natal. We went to the Western Cape. We also partnered with SANSA, the South African National Space Agency, with the CSIR, and finished in Gauteng a few weeks ago at UNISA, and we brought 5 more scientists from Gauteng. So these 16 in front of you are those people who have expressed their interest in science and their passion for communicating science. And they wanted to share that with you, and that's why they participated in this competition. Yesterday we held semi-finals, so we held 2 semi-finals. We had 16 participants, we narrowed that down to 10. And those 10 are here today. So I'd like to introduce them to you, or rather, I'd like to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves to you. They're just going to say who they are and where they come from. But I'd like you to think about and reflect on the incredible science that's going on in South Africa right now, and potentially what role you could be playing in that in the future. All right, so bringing up our 10 finalists for FameLab South Africa 2015. One of these people will be traveling to the UK to represent South Africa in the international final, along with 25 other countries. All right, first contestant today will be Kamini Murugan from this university.
Hi guys, so I'm Kamini, all the way from Johannesburg. I study at Wits, where I am doing my PhD in pharmaceutical sciences. And I'm using nanotechnology to help people who suffer with psoriasis, skin disease.
Next participant is Kishen Mahesh. Kishen is a lecturer at University of Pretoria.
It's a rock star, my intro. Yes, I'm from the University of Pretoria, and my research field is actually human genetics, and I focus specifically on facial morphology and human matrix.
Right. The third contestant from the CSIR in Pretoria is Natasha Botha.
Hi, I'm Natasha, and I saw some sleepy faces, so I was hoping that would wake everybody up, but I think maybe not. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer. I don't study machines, I don't look at cars, and don't ask me anything about an airplane. I actually study the human body.
Next up is Kitani Given Madiba. Itani is from FameLab and from UNISA.
Hi guys, I'm Itani from FameLab UNISA. I'm doing my PhD in smart materials and energy efficient materials. You know, we're facing load shedding, so we need solutions.
Next up is Opa Malaflela from Sansa.
Thanks for that. Hello everyone, my name is Omar Shailan and I'm working at South African National Space Agency. I'm employed as a most scientist and I'm studying a PhD in veterinary epidemiology.
Stevie Biffen from University of Cape Town.
I'm Stevie and I am studying my master's in neuroscience, and I'm looking at the effect of fetal alcohol syndrome on children, so the effect that mothers drinking during pregnancy has on their children.
Next up is Edgar Buje.
Hello everyone. As I've introduced, my name is Edgar and I am doing my MSc Masters. What I do, I study the human body and how to cure diseases caused by super bacteria. Thank you.
I'm learning some science technique from Edgar. Next is Speedy Fatima Chunara from Wits University.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I'm studying at Wits University and I'm doing my PhD in pharmaceutical sciences. And my research is primarily based on developing advanced drug delivery technologies for proteins.
Thanks, Speedy. Second last is Maropeng Nematangela. Welcome, Maropeng.
Thank you. I'm Maropeng Nemutangera. I'm studying my Masters of Science with the University of South Africa, and I'm specializing in plant physiology and entomology. Thank you.
And finally, Trineshan Woodley from UKZN, Westport Campus.
I studied there 7 years ago and I still haven't gotten over this place. So amazing. I'm doing my PhD in drug design. You know, I make legal stuff. That's pretty much what I do. So please sit back and enjoy the show. Back to you all.
Thanks, Trineshan. So I'm sure as some of these people told you what they did, you could just kind of feel your mind kind of clouding over sometimes. And you think, oh, hang on. So what we've been doing with these scientists over the last couple of days through masterclass training, which the British Council has sponsored, is to encourage them and to assist them with thinking about ways in which they can make science accessible to a public audience. And so the judges, who you'll meet shortly, are going to decide how well they've done that, and we'll also hear from the claps that come from the audience. So that's all from me right now. Thanks very much for your participation, and thank you and congratulations to all the finalists.
All right, thanks, Rob. So hopefully the nerves are a bit settled. They are getting ready. And as you heard, if this is a competition, we need people who are brave enough to judge the competition and to tell us who the winners are. I will be introducing the judges to you, contestants. I'm not doing that so that you can hurt these people if you do not win. So I will be introducing the judges. They have the spectacular job of figuring out who will be the winner today. So our first judge was born. He grew up. He's a person by profession. He practiced as an academic at Rhodes University and at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, where he was also Dean's Assistant focusing on academic support. He was formerly the MD of Scifest Science. Today, he is the CEO of South African National Space Agency. He can't play cricket, but he's here to judge. Ladies and gentlemen, your hands in mine for Santiago Molina. our second judge for this afternoon is an award-winning science journalist. She studied physics, electronics, and English literature at Rhodes University. 2012, she published a non-fiction book titled Searching African Skies. In 2013, she was named the best science journalist in Africa. She's working on another book that will be launched in September of this year, entitled How Innovation and Science Can Save South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, your hands and mine for the one and only Sarah Wild. Now, Sarah, of course, is writing for the Mail and Guardian, so maybe you want to share a little bit of information in terms of why you think this is important.
Oh, you're letting me use your mic. Ooh, got a history going here now. So, hi guys, my name is Sarah Wild, and I'm the science editor at the Mail and Guardian. So, while I practice science journalism and I'm out in the field, part of that is also encouraging science communication. And as the Mail and Guardian, a few newspapers in South Africa with a science journalist. I'm now talking to the scientists in the front row and to the people in the crowd who may one day become scientists. We need you to talk about your science. If you don't talk about your science, we cede the space to lobbyists and politicians. I apologize to the politicians in the crowd. We need you guys talking about what you do and talking to South Africans so that we can use that to form a platform of national debate and try and solve some of the problems we have. I'm getting emphatic nodding in the front. Okay, so I'll be hearing from some of you in the future then.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Our last judge for today is a professor of materials physics at the Imperial College with a research focus on high-performance computing techniques to understand the behavior of materials for energy applications. He is the Chief Scientific Advisor from the Foreign and Commonwealth Office in the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, your hands and mine for Robin Grimes. Thank you very much. All right, so there we have the judges for this afternoon, and for those of you who don't know, just some basic information. In essence, each participant will get 3 minutes to tell and sell to you their science story, covering anything in science, engineering, technology, and mathematics. They are not allowed to use PowerPoint. If they can't carry it, they're not allowed to use it on stage. So they will get 3 minutes. I will be lying on the left side. At 2.5, I will come slowly to the front. At 3, if you're not yet done, I will start talking. Is that okay? You've got 3 minutes. We are here. Audience, are you ready to rock? So we're going to start with contestant number 1. If I pronounce your name and it doesn't sound like your name, just pretend that you know that it is you. So here we have, up first, Karmani Murugan.
Imagine trying to get all of these balls into your body at once. And I'm not talking about a stuff in your mouth contest. I'm talking nanotechnology. Why not make these balls nano? So take a grain of sugar. We can fit over 1 million nanoparticles in that small grain. So these little soldiers, and they're taking over the world, from electricity and engineering to food, water, even clothes. And now we figured that we can use them to get drugs into your body. But how? See, nanoparticles are so small that they can enter the cells of your body. And we figured out that we can trap drugs on the inside of nanoparticles. So they will enter your body, go into your cells, and then release the drugs. But we have problems sometimes. See, what we want to do is to get these nanoparticles into certain parts of your body. But sometimes nanoparticles don't do what they were supposed to do. Like, if you have a headache, we want it to go to your brain. If you have hypertension, we need it to go to your heart. But as I said, sometimes they don't do what they were supposed to do. It's like, you like a guy, but he just doesn't ask you out. So we figured that we could make nanoparticles smart. we can get them to where we need them to be and do it fast. So a really, really cool thing we can do with nanotechnology is to change its shape. Now you think that all nanoparticles are round, but believe it, we can get different shapes from nanoparticles. So a shape like this triangle or pyramid has different points, different angles, and different tips. This may allow for this nanoparticle to enter certain cells faster than it would other cells, which is pretty cool. Now that's the math aspect of nanotechnology. What about science? So there was a scientist in the 1870s, Coulomb, and he said that different objects have different charges. So you have a positive charge if you've got extra electrons, and you've got a negative charge if you have positive with protons and negative with electrons. So we know that like will repel like, and we know that opposites attract. So if we have the cell that we are targeting to be negative, we simply make the nanoparticle positive. And in the body, the nanoparticle will be attracted to the negative cell because it's opposite in charge, and it will enter the cell. Now this is pretty good nanoparticle technology, getting drugs into the body safely and efficiently. And we learned that nanoparticles are small, but they've created one of the biggest acts in science thus far. So maybe nanoparticles aren't so small after all.
Well done. And under 3 minutes. I've got to tell you, she enjoys picnicking and she's a Sudoku champion and even a budding chef. Let's get some comments from our judges, please.
Firstly, well done. I know it takes a lot to stand up on stage and talk about something as complicated as nanotechnology and nanoparticles. But I thought that you managed to deal with the concepts very well and accurately, showing that you can explain difficult concepts in an accessible way. So well done.
Yes, thanks very much. I think the first one to come up here, the way you did it was well done. It would have been good maybe to take one example where this is applied so that people can understand and bring it to their day-to-day activities and things that they can conceptualize and understand. That would be one. Thank you.
Which is why I suggested headaches, because everyone has headaches. And we need the nanoparticles to go to your head.
So I like the idea of using the demo. You can say very few words and get all the ideas through very quickly using the demo. So I like the use of that. It was good. I like the way you did it.
Well done. So let's give her another round of applause. So as you can see, the judges are paying careful attention. They're listening not only to the content, the clarity, but they're also looking at charisma, right? So it's not just what you say, it's also how you say it. So our next contestant is Kishan, who apparently loves Sir Isaac Newton. And you say you've stood on the shoulders of giants. He also loves poetry, art, and culture.
How many of you have ever taken a selfie? Pretty much everyone in the audience, I guess, right? And after taking that selfie, how many of you then go on to add a filter? Let me make myself look a little bit brighter, a little more radiant. Yes, I like that. Save, upload. What is it that we're trying to say when we do this? What is it that we want the person who's going to see this photo to actually see? What is the image that we are trying to portray? Ladies and gentlemen, my talk today is about how we make judgments on people looking at their faces, specifically looking at health and attractiveness. Now, there are a number of ways in which we can do this. We can look at the symmetry of the face, how much the left matches the right. We can look at the masculinity of the face. We can look at facial adiposity, or what we call facial fat. Or we can look at skin color. Now, for the rest of these 3 minutes, I'm going to actually focus on skin color and how it is related to facial attractiveness and health. Now, when we make these judgments, we are influenced by our biological roots. That is our innate ability to actually view someone as healthy and attractive based on certain facial cues. When we do this, we're actually putting out there that we say, this person has good genes. They might make a good mate for me. So then how do we marry facial attractiveness and health with skin health? Well, there were studies done in various populations, Black, Asian, European, and they were given a standard photo. And they were asked to please show us what healthy and more attractive individuals would look like. When they did this, what they did was they upped the color of these individuals. They made them yellower, they made them brighter, almost glowing, sort of the yellow bone complex. I see some of you got that. So then, how do we enhance our ability to become more healthy and attractive? Well, the answer is simple. While beauty companies have been struggling for years to get this across, the answer comes from Mother Nature herself. Eat your fruits and vegetables. It's that simple. When we ingest these produce, we absorb a pigment called carotenoid. This is absorbed into our bodies and flows through and eventually penetrates the skin and gives us that glowing appearance. But there is also a physiological property to them. They're able to neutralize free radicals. And these free radicals, if left unattended, can cause cancer, or advanced aging, and so forth. So, the next time that your parents are there telling you to eat your fruits and vegetables, don't fuss with them, because simply all they're trying to do is up your Lobola price. Or if you're at a mall and you notice someone noticing you, or you noticing them, remember, you can't really hide it, because it's always written all over your face. Thank you.
Well done. So that was people also coming in the time. Again, eat your fruits. One of you as beautiful as me. Let's hear what the judges have got to say.
I really liked your ending. It's so important to get a really good comment in at the end there so that people really remember you. You did that really interesting.
You know you're a good speaker, you know you're charming in front of the crowd, and your topic is very engaging and interesting to everyone here, to all want to look at it. So it's but I would have liked to see more science. I'm actually quite interested in the science of what is it that's happening in the pigmentation that's happening to make that glow, and perhaps even the chemical reactions, even a line to explain what that science is. But then again, I'm a science freak, so that's fine.
All right, let's give him another round of applause. Remember, eat your vegetables. Right, so as you guys in the audience, as you are observing our participants, we might, who knows, later on give you an opportunity to show us how good you are. So while you sit there, maybe think of something that's worthwhile sharing with us. Our next participant allows us to play the piano. She writes short stories, and I'm intrigued about the last one. She does mixed martial arts for fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Natasha Porter.
I'm sorry, I only had one spare balloon, so I can't wake anybody up at this point. But it's actually nice that most of your eyes are closed, because I'd actually like you to, I want you to please just close your eyes slowly. Just do that for me, please. How does it feel? Dark? Terrifying? This is actually what happens with an eye disease called glaucoma. You slowly but surely start losing your focus until you can't see anymore. Like now, everything is fuzzy. When I close my eyes, it's dark. When I put my glasses back on, I can see. So this is the effect that we find during glaucoma. Now, to just illustrate my point, believe that this balloon is your eye. Now, as I blow up the eye, what's in air, which is pressure. So as I increase the pressure in the eye, what do you think happens? It expands? Will it blow? Do you think your eye will blow when you increase the pressure? I would hope not, I'm not a zombie. But say we put our eye in something. So that something is the eye socket. If I put my eye in the eye socket, I blow, what happens now? It's constricted. What happens when it's constricted? At the edge of the eye, at the back, we have a wonderful thing called an optic nerve. This optic nerve takes the light signals that we get all the way back up to our brains, and this is to see me. Now, when this happens, the pressure builds up to such an extent that it starts killing off those cells at the back. And that's how you start slowly losing your vision. Now, the problem with this is, it's the second leading cause of irreversible blindness in South Africa and the world. Now, irreversible means that when I'm blind, I'm blind. I will always need a pair of glasses to be able to see. That will never change, unless I go for laser therapy, which I don't think is an option. So, now, how do we measure this? Obviously, we've seen that the pressure has an influence. The pressure is something that can tell us whether glaucoma is something that you might have or not. So, once again, we have our eye. Now, for this, I'd actually like you to try it. If you close your eyelid and just gently press your finger against your eye, just feel what it feels like. You feel some kind of resistance, right? Now, if it's puffed up more, you'll feel a bit more of a resistance. That is how we measure the pressure. Because we know what the resistance is. We can measure this resistance and calculate the pressure inside here. So what does this pressure actually tell us? Well, if your pressure is high, you might have glaucoma. If your pressure is low, you're good to go. Now, would you believe that I have... Hello, how are you? Brilliant. Well, I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. Apologies for that, but it is a competition and you do have 3 minutes, so I'm going to keep you to your 3-minute rule. I'm handing over to the judges.
Okay, well done, Natasha. I like the fact that you involved the audience, you selected your props and examples that you gave, and it was very practical. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's just a pity about the time. I know. I really enjoyed your use of props and also your engagement with the audience, but that comes at a time cost.
Yes, unfortunately.
Which unfortunately both worked for you and against you.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much, Natasha. I said I was a bit scared to come and stop you, seeing that you are a martial artist. But I know this is on TV, so I won't get killed. Next up, we've got Mr. Itani Given Madiba. He says he's fun, he's easygoing, and he loves to do easy things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing the next 5 years of continuous load shedding. As the society, we are meant to take lessons and make solutions. That is number one. We need to advance our electricity generation. We need to make more of our electricity through solar energy from the sun, through nuclear energy from uranium. Don't forget we are the third largest producer of uranium in the world. Through hydropower from water. And also use the average coal energy to avoid excessive emission of CO2. When we have enough of our electricity, then we should monitor it. How do we monitor our energy? Number two, that as Africans, we need to develop our own cost-effective small satellites that will strengthen our communication barriers to monitor our energy supply, grid, and power stations. Not only to monitor our energy, it will also extend to enhance safety, population, and also natural disaster, better living conditions for all. Once we have monitored our energy, number three, we need to save it. It's a must. Sometimes it's not often how much you produce, but how much you can save to use tomorrow. The energy used by buildings is reported to be between 30 to 40% of the primary energy demand, and half of that is used by air conditioning. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a smart window coating technology based on vanadium dioxide material to save energy used by air conditioning in our households. Smart windows are designed to intelligently control the amount of light or heat passing through. This is not your ordinary window, ladies and gentlemen. It is a smart window which has been coated with vanadium dioxide smart material. That is, if it is hot, for temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius, the windows of your house will block the heat from entering through your house and preserve the inside cooling environment and hence less use of cooling mechanisms. When it is cold, Vanadia's smart window will absorb the heat directly from the sun into your house and preserve the inside warm environment and less use of heating mechanisms. Thus, we ensure to save on a large scale our energy. Ladies and gentlemen, this will ensure us better living conditions and modern energy access for all. For how long should Africa remain to be a dark continent? For who and for what? This should stop. Electricity does not come from the sky. It is me and you who should make, monitor, and save our energy. When you get home, please don't forget to switch off what you don't use. Thank you.
Well done. So that was Let's hear what the judges have got to say.
Well, I think we saw some real passion there, and science is about passion. So well done, that's really great. I think you could use some other demos to perhaps get through some of the science issues. So you can work on that a little bit more, but passion.
Thanks very much, Ethan. You chose a problem that's relevant to us, which is one thing that we need to strive for as scientists, to look at things that are of relevance to the communities that we serve. Thank you.
Alright, so that was Itani Nadira. Full of passion, as he says, he just does things that are easy. Next up, we've got a guy who enjoys riding a motorcycle. Here is Oba Malate.
Thank you. I'm not going to tell you about the smart material. Already the gentleman has done that previously. I'm here to ask you to imagine our plant running out of water. Yes, I mean this, water. What would you do? Imagine this bottle as all the water available on planet. Only 3 to 6 drops in this bottle actually represent freshwater resources that we have. Resources that are required by both animals, plants, people, and also to maintain the ecosystem. Now, with that imagination in mind, the rest of the water left in the bottle is actually representing the water that is available in ocean, seas, and also some salty lakes. And it's usually salty and polluted. Now, what are we to do? Something that we need to do as people, we need to be able to locate the areas where this water is available so that we can be able to share such water resources quite efficiently and also equally. Now, how are we to do that? Does it mean we have to go to each and every river and dam available on Earth in order to be able to quantify and qualify the water? No, we cannot do that because some areas are very dangerous. There are dangerous lions, there are dangerous rhino poachers, there are dangerous animals and other things that come along. Now, what we need to do, luckily, space technology helps us to actually come with very, very efficient means of deriving water from the imagery. So what this technology does is that it has, there are satellites that are sent into the outer space. So our work is actually to take the pictures of each and every place where water is found. So scientists like myself go on to use sophisticated computer programs that actually help us to derive water from there. And that information is usable by the government to know who has got access to fresh, clean water and who doesn't. And we try to use more water than other people so that in the end, each one of us can have a share in the remaining 3 to 6 drops of water available. And with that in mind, that is to help each one of us to answer. In case your son Daddy, I need water. What is water? Because it seems like we will. you will be able to answer the question, because remember, in a few years to come, there's going to be a world war waged against fresh water resources. Now, what will you do? Thank you.
All right, so that was Opa. There you have it. If your child asks you for an iPhone, just give him a bottle of water. Let's hear what the judges have got to say.
I fully approve of passion and concern about fresh water sources, so I'm really interested in your topic. And I loved your use of the water bottle and likening it to the few drops of fresh water we have. It's a very good example.
I mean, I agree, and I like the use of the water bottle as well. Sometimes simple demonstrations like that are not the most effective. But I thought I was looking for a little bit more science in the presentation.
All right, thank you, Opa. Right, so we are about halfway in terms of our competition. We've got 5 more to go. Next up, we've got a lady who loves ballet. Here is Stevie.
Thank you very much. So, who here would like to be happier? Yeah. I know I would, right? That's good, because today I'm going to teach you the secrets of happiness. So let's think about this. What moves us to be sad, to laugh, to be angry, to be afraid? Something touched my leg. I don't know what it is. I don't want to look down. I don't know if it eats humans. My heart's beating really fast. I'm breathing really quickly. Okay, wait, I need to be brave. I need to see what it is. It's okay. It's okay. It was just the cat. So, what just happened there? Well, in our brain we have a very small structure called the amygdala. It's called the amygdala because it looks like an almond, and that's the Greek word for almond. Now, the amygdala for all of our instantaneous reactions, so when we laugh at a joke or get a fright. But luckily, the amygdala doesn't work on its own. The amygdala also works with the frontal lobe of our brain. And the frontal lobe of our brain is what makes humans so unique, because it helps us to think. It helps me to think, okay, wait, maybe I should just look to see if it eats humans before I freak out. So the frontal lobe basically helps us to do science. Okay, so if we think about it, today before I got on stage, I was terrified. My amygdala was saying, run, run, don't come back, leave your shoes, just go. But my frontal lobe said, okay, just wait a minute. Why are you scared? Maybe it's because you have a really important message to give to all these people. Maybe it's because you can tell everyone that a negative emotion doesn't have to become a negative thought. And that doesn't have to lead to a negative lifestyle. Because everyone here has the secret to happiness right here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from our judges.
Thank you very much. That was well done. You started by telling us and leading us as to what we're going to be talking about. The secret to happiness. That was simple. You all want to be happy. And then you move on to your song. And then you close back to what you started with. That was awesome. Thank you.
I was going to say pretty much the same thing. I liked beginning, middle, end. I thought you were spending a little bit too much time getting the thing moving. I thought, oh, she's going to run out of time. But you didn't, and yet you still got your science. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, well done. So there's our ballerina on the brain. Next up is a gentleman who says he enjoys being in situations that challenges him. So here's Edgar. This is a challenge. So,
hello everyone. Are we happy now? Yeah. That's good. What do you say if I tell you we are not alone? we have our enemy around us. This enemy is right where you are sitting. This enemy is in the air. Enemy at times is in the water that we drink. Who is this enemy? Bacteria, of course. Now, this enemy causes infections that are serious. Think about smallpox. Think about diarrhea. Now, are we able to treat disease caused by this enemy? Of course we can. We use antibiotics. But there's a challenge with antibiotics. What do? They stop our enemy from growing. What do I mean? They inhibit this growth. But our enemy is smart, just like us, because he stays with us. What do you do when you are cold? You put on a jacket, right? What do you do when the temperature in this room is hot? The aircon comes on. That is adaptation. So, because the antibiotics only inhibit this growth, our enemy is able to recover from the inhibition, and he has the power to adapt, which means he strengthens his security and his protection. How do they do that? Now, our enemy is very small, and we can't see him. So let's imagine this is bacteria, and they have what you call a cell wall. Their cell wall is thick, therefore they are able to fight off the inhibition by these antibiotics. So it seems like we're not going to win against our enemy. That's where I come in. I work in the lab, and through science advancement and technology, we develop what I call super antibiotics. What do they do? Now, remember, our enemy has a thick cell wall. So my super antibiotics that were synthesized in the lab through advanced science and technology have the power to pierce through the wall of our enemy, entering through our enemy, therefore destroying our enemy from the inside. When this is happening, we are able to cure serious infections such as super tuberculosis, super gonorrhea, using super antibiotics against super bacteria. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are not alone. But through science and technology, we are able to be healthy in our own environment in the presence of our enemy. Thank you.
Alright, so let's hear from our judges whether he is Superman or a super.
I think that was clear, the message was clear, the examples that he chose were clear. That was well done, thank you.
I must agree with Dr. Malinga. I especially like the stomp to get people's attention and using your body in that way to engage with your audience. It was really well done.
Well, there you have it. So there is a place for violence in science, right? We just stab holes in the wall. Next up, we've got a lady who enjoys making science simpler and enjoyable for the little kids in her community. Here is Bibi Fatima.
Good morning to all. 387 million, the number of people worldwide living with diabetes. 22 million, the number of people in Africa alone living with diabetes. 205 million, the expected increase in diabetic cases by 2035. And finally, 612 billion, yes, billion US dollars, the amount of money spent on healthcare for diabetes. Unbelievable? Well, believe it. In the 7 seconds it took you to consider these astounding figures, one person has died from diabetes. You may ask the question, why? Well, imagine sticking a needle into your body several times a day for the rest of your life. Sounds painful, doesn't it? I mean, the only way that insulin, which is a protein, can be delivered into our bodies is by injection. Would you then believe that these same proteins, which are extremely sensitive to the acid within our stomach and that are unable to cross intestinal cells, can be placed into a tablet for oral delivery as opposed to the injection? Well, as pharmaceutical scientists, we can make this possible. I mean, think about it. If you were given the choice between an injection And a tablet, which would you choose? A rhetorical question, as we choose a tablet every single time. So, we develop technologies like tablet, which are made up of layers of material that contain enzyme inhibitors and absorption enhancers. And as this tablet moves into the body, it goes down your food pipe and into your stomach, where these enzyme inhibitors are released. And they act like tiny little soldiers that stop the chemicals that cause that acid within our stomach. So essentially, it prevents the destruction of the insulin. And as this tablet moves into our intestine, it comes into contact with these intestinal cells that are connected by bridges called tight junctions. So, just as we build a gate to prevent the entry of unwanted persons into our home, these intestinal cells act as a gate that restrict the entry of large toxic molecules. And as you need a key to open a gate, the absorption enhancers within the tablet act as a key that open up these bridges and allow the absorption of insulin into the bloodstream. Mind-blowing, I know. Now, in the time it took me to convey this message, 25 more people have died from diabetes. And that number increases every 7 seconds. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Thank you.
Well done. Jessica, I think I'm going to wait until you develop a tablet that will give me a tattoo. But I'll wait for that. Judges, what do you have to say?
Well, there was a lot of complicated science to put across to your audience there. And you really did do it. I like the TikTok at the end. You know I like endings. It stays with you. You remember what people say as a consequence. So, but lots of science there to get through, and you did it. Well done.
I must agree with him as well. I thought your talk was great, and I was engaged with the science. But I would have perhaps liked the science to have spent more time on the science, explaining some of the concepts a bit slower. But on the whole, fantastic. Thank you.
All right, well done. Well done, Fatima. All right, so we have 2 more to go. And she just walks up before everybody you step. But I see now why. She's a mother of 3, so she doesn't wait. Please, Marope.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We are today in a funeral. In a funeral of course, acid mine drainage water. I will start by reading the obituary. He was born in 1846, 9th of September, and we are burying him today, the 20th of March, 2015. We are told that acid mine drainage water is actually the acidic mines, with very high concentration of heavy metals and of course very low pH. So I have the post-mortem result today with me. I just wanted to know if there was a natural death or not. So with my results, it shows that fly ash actually made out acid mine drainage water. So what is fly ash? Fly ash is regarded as a product that we get when electricity is generated. So Eskom is doing something good by providing us with that fly ash that we can use to measure this acid mine drainage water. So now with this clean water, we can use this water now to irrigate our agricultural crops. We are told that acid mine drainage water left 2 children, 2 girls and actually 1 boy, age 2-0. So with this water now, we can irrigate our agricultural crops. We are told that fly ash is a strong base, so it easily ionizes and dissolves in water. So we use this water to irrigate our agricultural crops in Florida, UNISA. So this is now product, the potatoes, which were irrigated with treated acid mine. So today, I would like to say to acid mine drainage water, you rest in peace. And of course, your death is of benefit to us. So with this project, our environment will be free from heavy metals. And of course, our water table won't be contaminated anymore. And of course, the problem of food insecurity will also be addressed. So I would like to say, rest in peace.
There we have it. Judges, your comments, please.
Thank you very much, Martin. You tried to marry science and art. That has its challenge in terms of the message being lost in the middle of the whole thing. And that's where I struggled a bit. I missed the science. The artistic engagement was a good thing. I think that was positive. You got the crowd involved, and they were clapping, they were laughing, and so that was a good thing. But in the process of doing that, the science suffered. Thank you.
I must agree with Dr. Malinga about we could have used some more science about how the fly ash engages with the effluent and how the science behind that. But I loved your theatricality. I thought it really made you stand out as a contestant. So thank you.
All right, so our last contestant for 2015 is a man who says that he loves being a lab rat, but he sometimes daydreams about becoming a super-powered mutant. Just by the way, for some reason he enjoys line dancing.
What if I told you your worst fear can actually be your greatest hope for survival? And what if I told you that this hope is in the form of a man-eating crocodile? I know what you're thinking, right? Is this guy crazy? I mean, a man-eating crocodile, a hope for survival? Like, what? But in all honesty and in all truth, the crocodile actually has antibodies in its immune system. Everybody knows what an immune system is, right? It's that little fort within us that sends out soldiers to shoot down the bad sick. And we call these little soldiers antibodies. Now, the crocodile antibody combats an evil we are all too familiar with. It's called drug resistance, where a bacteria and a virus actually outsmart the drugs designed to kill them, thus making more virus and bacteria babies, thus making us more sicker and sometimes possibly killing us. Now, a recent study found that when compared to the human antibody, the crocodile antibody absolutely destroyed drug-resistant bacteria. And you want to know how they did this? Okay, I'll explain it to you. The human antibody is actually quite polite. It's all like, please sir, please may you leave my body. But the bad guy drug-resistant bacteria is all like, dog, I'm staying here. I'm here to stay, I'm here to chill, we're here to party. Me and my boys, we're gonna party for shizzle, yo. But the antibodies in the crocodile, they don't say anything to this bacteria. They're just all like, rip it to shreds. And recent studies found that the crocodile antibody actually does this through a virus we are all too familiar with. It's called HIV. Now, there was only one setback with this. Even though it could actually destroy HIV, resistant HIV, and rip it to shreds, it also harmed healthy human cells. Now, this is where you school children come in, because this is the future for science exploration. Because this is where we need to find a way to actually link the crocodile antibody to that of the human antibody, such that our antibodies become super antibodies. so that we can now fight off diseases in style. The crocodile teaches us an important lesson. It teaches us that sometimes the best discoveries are found in places where mankind is just fearful to venture. Thank you, people.
Right, well done. I must say I was a bit worried when you said the future of the young kids. I thought you wanted them to jump in with a crocodile as an experiment. But let's hear what the judges have got to say. Some comments, please.
So I think and again, that engages the audience. It's got them on your side. I would have liked a little bit more of the science to come through, though, through that theatrics. What was the actual reasons? Where is the science specifically to do those?
The science is the future where the crocodile is actually so powerful that now we need to find a way to actually make human antibodies. See, the problem with super antibiotics is that they also stand apart, but there's a possibility that it can also become resistant. So the best way to try and do this now is either through genetics and drug discovery, where we can actually make a super antibody instead, because that would be hard to break. Like a crocodile antibody, it can actually survive in the swamp even after losing limbs and stuff. So that's what I want for human antibodies in the future. Okay?
I also agree with... No, your name, I was joking. Sorry. Yes. I agree with Robin, and I like your theatrics. And the thing that I find about your talk that's different is we often talk about science of stuff that's already been done. I like that aspect of looking to the future to decide and suggesting what people should be looking at. It's something quite different, and I like that in your talk.
Alright, so thank you very, very much. There we go. In the future, we might not be anti-crop anymore, we might be pro-crop. So there you have all 10 contestants for this year's FameLab competition. Judges, apparently you guys need to take some quiet time. You can find each other, time out. So we will give you some time out to go and fight somewhere else where we can't see you. So the judges will just disappear behind the screen to do some calculations, multiply by 5 and divide by 4, take the square root. While they're busy doing that, you guys, were you kind of involved in it? Did you learn new stuff? Some of you feel, oh, I can also do that. I was born to be on stage. There's somebody like that in the audience. I want to give that a bit of a thought. I wonder, would you be willing to just share with us a little bit of your story? I mean, you went overseas, you participated at the finals. So just give us a glimpse of what that's like. And while he tells us that story, I want maybe, could I get 2 or 3 of you guys to volunteer to come and tell us a little bit about the science that you've uncovered. Right, so think about it. We'll get you on stage for a minute or so, and you come and impress Raven, who will then be our judge. How's that? We'll do the X Factor thing. If it's bad, you just go thumbs down. I'll call you Simon.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, do I get 3 minutes? Yeah. Anyway, my experience in the UK. Wow. Not many people can say they've been in the shoes that I have, and that in itself is something really, really amazing. First of all, before I left, I'd never been on an airplane before. So it was knowing, being in this big machine that seems not to be even being told you're going to be on the other side of the world in a couple of hours seems really unreal, But I got there, and when you get there, you realize that you're going to one of the biggest science festivals around. You expect some of the best experts in the field to be there, and you have to be that one guy from Africa. It has to be on par with those people. And actually get there and realize I am on par with these people, And that's an experience I think one of you guys actually want to share because it's quite difficult to explain. Speaking to people who are experts in their field and being able to converse in scientific conversation with them. And I think thanks to FameLab, I was able to be on that platform. So I think in a way, let's give FameLab a round of applause. I think it deserves a standing ovation. So in 3, 2, 1, let's all get up and give FameLab a round of applause. thanks to SASTA. Give special thanks to the British Council. I was treated like a 5-star celebrity, you know. You made everything possible, judged me. And yeah, what I can say is thank you, and thank you.
Alright, so that is Raymond. So let me see. Is there anybody dying to get on stage, or are you just dying? I've got a hand there on the left-hand side. Gentlemen, that man is ready, he says. That man who's now looking at stuff. I can see, sir, you are ready. You are ready. The bearded man is now looking to the right. He is ready. He's got something prepared. Is there somebody else in this audience who wants to come on stage, tell us something wow in a minute or so? Could be something happening at school that you were taught in terms of content. It could be something that you experienced at the science festival. Maybe you were in a workshop and you were like, So we want you to come and show us that stuff. Do we have hands? I think we've got, what do I have? I've got USBs, I've got 3 of them to give away. So we need some participants. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. This gentleman, are you ready, my brother? You got the feeling? You got the feeling! Come on stage! That is contestant number 1. Contestant number 2. I've got a funny feeling it's somebody here. I get a feeling it's here. It's here. It's somebody wearing blue. Somebody wearing blue. Everybody's wearing blue. Alright, so somebody yellow. There's somebody yellow? Green? Who else? Who else is ready? Red. Red. Lady in red. Chris, red. No, not more than once. There's somebody? Just come. Well done! Well done! Well done! And we need another participant. How about getting somebody's... Are you ready? Come down! Come down! Come down! Right, so we've got our 3 contestants. They are going to wow us with science, with content, with charisma. I'm just going to find out a little bit more about them. Sir, your name is?
Andrea.
Andrea, from where?
George.
From George. You walked here? Oh, your high. And you are ready to do this? Are you alone? Your high, a couple of more people who might love to go all the way back to George. Is that the idea? You are all supporting it. Right, so this is contestant number 1. We will give you, Raven, what do you think, a minute? 2 minutes. Right, so let's make it FameLab Junior. So you will have 2 minutes to wow the judge. Are you ready? Your 2 minutes starts now.
Right, well, I guess the theme of the Scifest Africa this year was light, and so quite a lot of the workshops that we've been to was about light. And so in quite a few of the workshops we learned about the difference of white light and what it was made up of, and it was quite interesting to see that if you just took a mixture of red, green and blue light, it formed white light. And so that was quite cool, and also how you could take white light and split it into different colors of those 3 colors. Also, it works differently to the secondary colors, which you see in paints and stuff, which is the colors that you might have learned in art, which were yellow, blue, and red. And those make up the colors that we kind of see in paints and stuff. So I thought that was rather interesting. And other than that, we also learned how we can use this light to tell the difference of any kind of matter, even air and other substances. So we kind of use them in crime scenes. So if we find a hair, we can tell the difference between a human hair and bear hair. So we can see if it's ravaged by a bear or murdered by a psychopath. So I thought that was rather interesting. And yeah, I think I'll...
Here's a young man who's forward. Let's just hear some comments from our judge, Simon Raven.
I don't have the English accent. Anyway, good presentation.
Thank you very much.
I like your confidence. You got the audience to smile, and I like that. I also liked how you mentioned how we use light in our everyday lives, and then the forensics. So I think that was pretty good.
Thank you very much.
So
there might be a future for grand memories, team. Well done. Next up from UNISA, Solakot, your name, sir? Sorry? Cabello. Yes. And you are ready to do this? Yes. And you know that you are being filmed? It's streamed live. There are people all around the world watching you right now. Your 2 minutes, my brother, starts now.
Okay, the reason I came up here is just that Mr. Teacher was going to get me. Actually, I'm here to talk about my experience in Joe last year when I was 16. We actually went there with a group of girls aged 16. They were competing the same competition as we were competing, but the one that we were competing is on robotics. So we traveled to Spain on May, arrived in Madrid. We missed the flight. And when we went to the checking point, the person who was on the checking point did not understand English, so we couldn't explain our story. So we were told that we were late and we had to pay for the next flight to Pamplona. So arriving in Pamplona was an amazing experience whereby it was about 41 countries and there were only 2 countries from Africa. And I was elected to be the mechanical robotics judge, sitting in the judging room as big as this with people from 41 countries. I was the only black person. So that was very hard. Okay, what I'm trying to say now, I'm trying to encourage all the school leaders that there is a robotics competition in South Africa called FameLab Lego League. It is run by UNISA, TUT, University, Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, and the Cape Town Science Center, Cyborg. If you guys would like to be part of that, after this competition, you can come to me, then I'll give you the information about it. Thank you.
Alright, that's a nice way to do some advertising for the Lego League. So here's your memory stick. Thank you for being brave enough to come on stage, even if you were here to just advertise. But yeah, there you go, guys. There are many opportunities, as you hear. Science is something that takes you places. If you don't go to the UK as a science communicator, you could go to Spain. It was on the way to Mitchell Spain. But yeah, alright, maybe one day I will be able to do that. Do we have another contestant? She was born, when she came here, she was number 24. She's now number 42. Your name? Ruth, and you from where?
South Africa.
PE? Alright, and you here with your school?
No, I'm from school.
Do share. Ladies and gentlemen, homeschooled Ruth, all the way from PE.
I've never really been on stage before, so this is awesome. And I'm betting most of you don't really know about GMO, genetically modified organisms. You know about it. Well, it's scientists take the gene from, say, a fish and stuff it in a banana. Sometimes it doesn't work. But they have done, they've taken the gene from a fish in the North Pole and they put it in a tomato. They're taking the gene that makes the fish able to survive in cold so that the tomato will be able to live in cold. You think this is good? It's awesome. Scientists get good brains. Anyway. But it's actually not so good. They've genetically modified a lot of plants. They've genetically modified soya, corn, canola, and cottonseed. And that's in South Africa. The worst thing about it is that Monsanto, the main company that makes it, has patented it. But it's a growing plant. So it's like they've patented life. Now, when they plant the crop next to an organic farmer, it will cross-pollinate, and then they sue the organic farmer. That's why they're so rich. not only that, they're a company that makes chemicals. They're the ones who made Agent Orange. They're trying to sell Roundup, their new chemical. It's not really new. So they made their plants Roundup resistant. So the farmers spray as much Roundup as they want on their plants. So that's what makes it really, really bad for you. And if you go Google it, there's a lot of pictures of like dying rats, because there are rat studies on it.
So but there was like dynamite comes in a small packet. Raven was blown away, but he's got something to say.
Oh man, she's homeschooled, guys. I think whoever's homeschooling is doing a fantastic job. Being a microbiologist, I'm sitting here feeling guilty now. Because I do genetically modified. But what I love is you showed the negative side of it. I think we're living in a fast food kind of world where we're always in a rush to produce our food, and we're actually not looking at what the detrimentals are. But I think if you actually also consider what genetically modified foods have done, especially in Africa, I think it will change your mind. But I think it's a discussion you and I should have somewhere outside. But I'm really, really impressed. And if I were to choose a winner, I'd actually choose you to have won today. Do you guys agree?
Right, well done. First time on stage. Ruth, congratulations. You are our winner for our Open Mic FameLab 2015. Thank you very much. Our judges seem to be ready. You guys want to come back? And while they get back on stage, I'm going to call on Robert to do the vote of thanks. And then we'll hand over to our judges to maybe give us one great comment before we announce the winners. So has this been a brilliant afternoon? Did you sit here and say, oh, science can actually be cool? Are you all going to go back to school and look at your teachers and say, hey, you must come right now? Don't come with this boring stuff. We want you to be alive. We want you to be animated. We want you to be out there and make it exciting. So remember to take this back home once you get back to school. But let's hear from Robert, who's doing the vote of thanks. Then we'll get a beautiful comment from each of our judges, just in terms of your experience, and then we will announce the winners.
Thank you, Gideon. It's for me to thank the people who put this together and the judges. Let me start with the competition as a whole. We have worked very closely with SASTA over the last 3 years to grow this competition and to expand the network of organizations involved. So firstly, I'd like to thank SASTA very much from all of us, and to say without your support, we certainly couldn't have made this competition happen. And also that it really creates an opportunity for SASTA to showcase all of the science going on in many institutions around the country. And I think that's really a fantastic opportunity that's been created. So thanks very much to SASTA. I think it's worth saying that the way we've structured this competition going forward is that any institutions around the country are welcome to approach the FameLab project and become partners in running the project. And so you'll see here already the number of organizations who provided support to this. So I won't name all of those organizations individually, but I would like to say that the intention with FameLab was to create a platform on which all of these organizations could project their science. So thanks very much for helping us to create that. Secondly, to the British Council. We approached the British Council about 5 years ago to bring this competition to South Africa. We talked to them in South Africa and we got a little bit of progress. Then I went to the UK and I spoke to them in the UK, and when I got back I got a phone call from the South African office to say, oh, we better jump on FameLab. So that's been part of our journey, but we're really grateful for the support from British Council. And thank you this year to Vera Adams, who's directing or running the Newton Fund in South Africa. And the Newton Fund is looking at how do we create partnerships and creating opportunities for partnerships between scientists in South Africa and the UK. But Vera's been fantastic in support for this competition. Finally, I guess we need to say thank you to Javi there. Our purpose in running this competition is to grow the discipline of science communication in South Africa. It's really early days in terms of what we can achieve when our scientists start to communicate and start to make it happen. I've given you all a copy of a little newspaper called Science Spaza Space. And Spaza Space and Science Spaza Project is running into schools where learners in schools can set up their own science clubs and be connected with this world of science and science communication that's going on. So have a look at that and look at signing up at Science Club. It's completely free. We're looking to the organizations who are doing the science to keep getting that content out to all of you. So there's a little thank you. I'll do one more thank you. It's to Agent Z. Agent Z provided, did Gillian mention Agent Z? Agent Z provided those USB data sticks. If you want to find out more about careers for scientists and careers in science in South Africa, please have a look online at agentz.org. My final thank you is to the judges. Thank you very much. This is actually a gift from SASTA, so to keep things simple, I'm just going to hand that over, but it's really from SASTA. Thank you, Dr. Belinda. From Mr. Engels, well, not any real status in this world, but thank you very much. You've really been fantastic judges, and I'm going to hand over to Gillian to the rest. Thank you. One more. Thank you again to Scifest for creating this space and this opportunity for hosting us all, and it's been a really fantastic opportunity.
Thank you, Robert. So there we have all the thank yous. I'm now just going to give each of the judge a quick opportunity to just maybe share some of your experience of this afternoon. Sarah, do we start with you?
Yes, we'll start with me. First at the bottom, no title. You need to get yourself doctorate, people. So I just wanted to say it was lovely hearing all of you and hearing your passion, because that's actually what it boils down to. People forget that you stumbled a word. People forget that you trailed off slightly, but what people remember when they listen to you talk about your science is they remember your passion. And so even if you don't win in this competition, you can still take that passion, and it is still as great and as amazing outside the walls of this school. So thank you.
So when I was young, just starting out as a scientist long, long ago, basically, most scientists were men, and most scientists had beards. None of them talked to the public. You are so much more than that, and you understand the importance. What you've got to do is make sure everybody else understands what you already know about the importance of talking about science to the public. And I have no doubt all of you are going to be doing that a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. As scientists, we can, we should change the world. We believe that the science that we do is powerful. For ages past, it has changed the world and it has the potential to continue doing that. Many times we struggle in communicating it to the public, to the people who benefit from it. I was encouraged today to see the enthusiasm that we saw today, the clarity that we saw, and I believe that if we go out there and continue, let's not just end with this competition, let's continue to do it out there and communicate the science that we do. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks to our judges. As you heard, I think if you're in the business of influencing people, you're in the business of leadership. And you guys are all leaders. I think as Ruth reminded us, leaders do what's right, not what is easy. Thanks, Ruth. All right, so you guys have decided. You've come up with a list. Are you going to reveal it yourself? Is it a drum roll? It's Robert's job. You've got the list. We actually needed some music. Maybe some Eric Clapton. And if I could change the world, I would be... Is that it? The run up? Is that the run up? Right, so we've got 2 runners up, and then we've got the overall winner, right? The 2 runners up, as I said, you guys are getting 2,500 rand. If you don't want it, I will be behind those banners. The winner, of course, walks away with 5,000 rand, and you'll also get your plane ticket to attend the final in the UK in June. So here we go. Runner-up number 1. Did I tell you that story about? All right. So she's a she. And she and her. Ladies and gentlemen, runner-up number 1, Natasha Britta. Are you going to shake her hand as the people who shake hands, just so that it's very, very handshakish? Sorry, Job, was I too quick? I should have called Java to the stage. So you shake the judges along, smile, pretend to like them, smile some more. And we just wait. Java was making his way on stage. I was a bit eager. Apologies. Thank you, Master. Right, so he's got one of those things. There we go. There we go. Now it's official. 2,500 rand. Then our second runner-up for 2015. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your surname. Your name I will do. Edgar. So congratulations, you can shake the hand of the judges. Then you get your check. There we go. Dated 2,500 rand. Then our winner for 2015 getting 5,000 rand and a ticket to the finals in the UK in June. This year, we will announce the winner in the newspaper tomorrow. Our winner for 2015, Stevie Congratulations, there we have our winner and the 2 runners-up for 2015. It's the first time that she's ever won anything. So she probably wants to thank her family, mother. So congratulations. Here we have our winners for 2015. We're going to ask all our participants to remain behind so that we can take a group photo of you and the judges. To you, the audience, thank you for being with us this afternoon, because without you, this would not have been a show at all. So do spread the word. Science is alive, science is worth talking about, and science can take you places. So we'll see you again next year, hopefully, same place, but hopefully not. Let's take time. So welcome again to all of the participants and also to our